the war between Gaza and likely Hezbollah is going to heat up in the next hour and a half. Israel has already visited Gaza with tanks, and apparently Hamas, being underground in bunkers, did not know it. And they picked it up from the news, and now they're spreading it around. At 8 o'clock, which is not even 30 minutes from now, less than a half hour, was the deadline for the Gazan civilians to get out of the north of Gaza and go to the south. At 9 o'clock, it's my understanding, and other people as well, that that is the time Israel will begin its action, which is 99% going to be a ground invasion. It might be preceded. It might be 8 o'clock. There's going to be a lot of bombing. Normally, with an invasion, it's preceded by a lot of bombing, artillery, mortars, everything, you know. At 9, they said they're going to go in. Israel said they're going to go in. Well, they said they're going to, do this serious attack. And since they said they already visited Gaza with tanks, we're assuming that it'll be a ground invasion. The IDF of Israel, Israeli Defense Forces, has released information that they've already scanned Gaza for the hostages. They did not tell us whether or not they know where they are, but they probably do. Hezbollah said they're prepared to enter the war if we go into Gaza. We heard it's not 100% confirmed, but Iran press and another Arabic news source said that Qatar has said that if we continue to attack Gaza, bomb it, I think was the word they used, they are going to stop oil production to the world. Germany, who's helping Israel, has recently signed a large contract with Qatar for oil. Saudi Arabia just announced they're breaking off any negotiations to have normalization of relations to Israel. Now, if Qatar is doing it by itself, it's not going to cripple the world. But normally the way this stuff works is there's going to be other oil nations in the Arab world, Muslim majority countries most likely, that are going to also reduce or stop selling oil, probably a reduction. If this goes down, it will raise oil prices to a very heavy level around the world, double, triple, I don't know what will happen. It'll be significant, I'm sure, in my opinion. And this is going to turn world opinion against Israel, which we all expect. All the lovers have left. Israeli and American planes have been flying over Lebanon as a way of warning them, and they're also collecting target packages if it gets to that point with Hezbollah. The official government of Lebanon has said that they are not happy in many ways about what Hamas is doing, and they also at other times, the last 2 days, said they'd like to stop Hamas, but they need help. They don't have the resources to do it. Well, they're basically going to reach out to America, I'm sure, and ask America to help. They don't want to be destroyed. The scripture that comes to mind is, Lebanon, open your doors, let the cedars of Lebanon burn. Okay? It's hard. I'm living here. It's not easy. There's jets flying around relatively constantly over our skies to protect us. This is not Ezekiel 38 and 9. It's not Gog and Magog, because when you read Ezekiel 38, and you should read it carefully, it says Israel is living in peace and rest without bars and walls, with gold and much cattle. In other words, riches. This is not Israel. 2.5 million people are at the poverty line here. Forget that. It cannot be now. It's not now. It's not Gog and Magog. It's Zechariah 12, which you should read with Jeremiah 30. This is the birth pangs. This is the birth of a nation in a day. And you should pay special attention to Jeremiah 30, verse 11, which is 100% never been fulfilled. Now, you have to understand the word has to come to pass. It has to get fulfilled. Okay? So, there's no chance that it's not going to get fulfilled. Zechariah 12 is where we're headed. Now, I know most of the teachers don't teach this, but it's in your Bible. Okay? So, I'm not really going to do a great big Bible study here. One of my iPads died and had rigor mortis. I cannot revive it. And I usually use one iPad to broadcast on like I'm doing now, and I have the other to have the Bible verses. So if anybody wants to help contribute, for me to get another iPad, it would be a good thing. Probably not going to buy any more iPads. I probably would get a Samsung because I'm not having happy results with iPad longevity. Although the one that died was 3 or 4 years old and I used it heavily every day, so I can't complain that much. But it was set up for me to use the Bible studies. I don't know if I could ever retrieve them. But anyway, I could recover. I mean, I've got this one set up, but I need two. One to get the Bible work done and do the translations while I'm broadcasting, and I don't have that ability right now. I have a computer that died, and a few weeks ago, my wife insisted we get a new charger because that'd be the problem. She took it to the store. They plugged the charger in, and it charged, and it was running, and then I put it away for backup. Amazon doesn't ship tablets, computers, and phones to Israel. They won't ship it. So I pretty much need to get it inside Israel. It's not going to be a great big price differential because when you ship something into Israel, if it's over $75 in value, they add 17% tax on it. So it'll cost a little more in Israel than it does in America because you have to take into account tax. So can't use Amazon for it. So the computer that died when we bought the charger for it, I do not think we bought a factory charger. I think we bought an aftermarket. Well, anyway, I can't make it charge anymore, which was the same problem. So if things are pretty normalized on Sunday, I'll try to get my hands on another charger, hopefully an Apple charger, and see if I could make it come to life. It might happen. I don't know. It could be that there's something wrong with the computer that fries the charges, but it's worth a shot. China's not going to come here and do anything. They got so many problems in the Middle East, in the Pacific. Forget about it. There's no signs of China doing anything, and it's not going to go down. Russia's not doing anything. Russia's giving weapons to the terrorists. That's all they're doing. They're not going to do anything. America has one battle aircraft carrier flotilla here with 6 escort vessels, destroyers, and missile cruisers. They could launch a total of approximately 700 missiles that are highly accurate. And they're right off the coast of Israel right now. That's the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier, the biggest and best one in the world. And it probably has about 50 fighter planes, and then it has planes that are, for submarine detection, transport, refueling tankers, AWACS, and assorted. Maybe they got 60 fighters. It can handle 90 planes, but they need a whole lot of other planes too. The Dwight D. Eisenhower aircraft carrier group, with probably the same 6 escort vessels, is on its way over here, and it will probably to back up the Gerald Ford, and I'm guessing it could be here as early as Saturday and maybe Sunday or something like that. But I tried to calculate if it's within firing range of Lebanon with their missiles, and America says the missiles go 960 miles. If it's not in firing range yet, it will shortly be. Israel said they're killing the internet in Gaza on Saturday. Well, Saturday means what? It could mean sundown Friday by the Hebrew calendar, or it could mean 12:01 in the morning. Probably 12:01 in the morning. So at 8 o'clock, which is in a few minutes, that was the deadline for the Gazan civilians to get out of the north of Gaza and go to the south to be safe, and many did so. At 9 o'clock, we're supposed to start a big operation, which again, I'm 99% sure is a big invasion. We'll be hitting just the north of Gaza. The reason is most likely they've been launching, Hamas in Gaza has been launching short range, not very powerful missiles into Ashkelon and Ashdod, which are two cities near the Mediterranean and right near the North Gaza, very, very, very close. And they've been wrecking the city nicely, both cities. So that has to stop. So that's why we got to go into the north, because that's where these Katyusha rocket type things are getting fired out of. They have more sophisticated rockets, and a few hours ago they got up near Tel Aviv. So far, we've just had skirmishes with Hezbollah, with artillery and one or two rockets or an anti-tank missile. Nothing major. We have a full army, I would say, on their border right now. We've already successfully called to active duty 300,000 reservists. Now, what Netanyahu told us, it was remarkable. He didn't get 100% response on the reservists flying back to Israel. We got 130% response. So that would mean we called for 300,000 and we probably got 390,000. Then they turned around and started calling another 360,000 reservists, and that's in process now. Israel military is running shuttle flights from Europe and other locations to bring them into Israel. Many Israelis have been living abroad. I have a distant relative that I don't believe has been in Israel for 17 or so years. He spent a number of years here and he moved back to his home country. They contacted him, called him up, and he's coming. He was not a regular soldier, something way more elite. I don't want to get into details, but he's coming back. Or he's here already, I don't know. I hope I get some hangout time with him. He's a good guy, I know him. What else? So everybody's very tense in Israel right now. We do not know if Hezbollah is going to get into the fight. If they do, well, what the Americans told the Israeli government that was publicized was regarding Hezbollah, let us take care of it. Well, with the two aircraft carriers together, without reloading the ships with new missiles, there's 1,400 missiles. It's a lot of missiles. Each one's a 500-pound warhead. Apparently, America gave us more bombs for airplanes because Hamas several times commented that the bombs that Israel's using are way more powerful and effective than what we were using before. And I did see pictures of the bombs in like a warehouse. And cargo planes from America have been coming in all the time for days now. There are some troops on the ground in Israel to help with hostage recovery. So I don't think it's that many. It might be 50 or I don't know what. They shouldn't tell us how many. So they don't, and that's fine. That's how they should be. Two landing ships from America emerged off the shore of Haifa the other day. I saw pictures of them. A landing ship carries it can go up to 1,850 soldiers, which are normally expeditionary force Marines, good fighters, tough guys. It also can carry some vertical takeoff planes and helicopters and tanks. And inside the boat, they have smaller boats that are, I guess you might call them an LST or something. A landing ship that'll drive right up on the beach. The mothership's a great big ship. And they're here, I mean, and the only reason I could think they're here is to come in on the Mediterranean into Gaza in the middle of the fracas, of course, with close coordination with Israel, and get involved with hostage rescue. This is a very big, important point with Biden and Netanyahu and France and the UK and Germany and everyone else. I mean, they're all. The UK dispatched two warships to Israel, and they said, well, we're there, we want to make a deterrent, and these ships can be converted into hospitals and things like that. Israel's already set up a field hospital outside Gaza. So I don't see the need for that. Greece has sent two warships down here. If they're not here, they'll be here, like tomorrow or something like that. I mean, it's not a big trip. The UK has a aircraft carrier on standby to come down here. America says they have a large amount of troops on immediate standby in Europe that can be flown in quickly. Now, I have no idea how many troops they have here. I really don't know. And I believe that America wants to basically use aircraft and missiles, helicopters or whatever, to deal with Hezbollah, because the casualty rate will be very, very minimal. It is rumored by people that there are terrorists in America because of the open border, but we haven't seen anything like that yet. So, is it real or not? I don't know. A lot of these guys that come up the border are military age, single guys. I don't know. And I don't know if they'll do that. America's like a sleeping lion, and Japan woke this lion up, and they learned a really bad lesson. Now, Israel's not like a sleeping lion; it's more like a sleeping leopard. A leopard's about 125 pounds. A female lion's 350. A male 450 pounds. So we're like a leopard. When you wake the leopard up, you're going to get hurt, and they're getting hurt. Gaza is a Runa Steep. It's not Damascus. I know the difference. It's a mess, and it's going to be much, much worse. Egypt said they don't want the civilians from Gaza coming in because they know that a lot of them are really going to be Hamas and civilian clothing, and they don't want to have this problem inside Egypt. So Sisi of Egypt said, no, I don't want them. No humanitarian aid has come in to Gaza. We insisted that doesn't happen. Let me look at the chat. I'm going to try to answer questions if I can. If I can, here we go. Let me see what's going on. It goes away. Let me get it back. One of the problems that we had with them coming in last Saturday into Israel and killing people is Netanyahu for 20 years has been putting horrific gun control on Israel. And these people will run on, and they lock themselves in the house, and the Hamas terrorists were burning the houses to get them to come out, and then shooting them and taking them captive, breaking in houses. And, you know, this is bad. And Israel did hand out weapons. I don't know if they were pistols or rifles. I believe they were old M16s. We don't use M16s anymore. And I imagine Israel has a good stockpile of old military assault weapons that can be handed out. I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure they do. And they've given some out down in the West Bank and in a town called Sderot, Sderot, which is right near Gaza. Netanyahu hates civilians having guns. He can't stand it, and it's a real problem. And it caused a lot of deaths, because even if they had pistols, they come outside and they start kicking the door down. Boom, boom, boom. You put 2 or 3 bullets through the door, they're going to get, you know, let's go find another house, you know, right? And you know that. So this is a deficiency of Netanyahu, undoubtedly. There's no doubt about it. But this is not the time to delve into conspiracy theories or this or that. We need to stay strong and united. Right now in Israel, there's no left wing and there's no right wing. Okay? And there's no center. Everybody's united. Well, they're giving out assault weapons, but I mean, I'm just making a point. Even if you had a pistol, you would be able to deter the attack. I think they're not going to, you know, look, you could shoot them too. I mean, you can hit them. They had no bullet resistant vests. So, you know, there's things you could do. You can go hide behind curtains or whatever in your room, and when you see them there, you can, you know, you gotta know how to shoot. I'm old, but I, in my life, probably fired 100,000 rounds. I know a lot about guns, but I'm not here to talk about guns, you know. It is what it is. Okay, Perez is typically a Jewish name. So that's one of my dogs. They're convinced that Hamas has cats as operatives in Israel, and they're looking for them. Just kidding. So, Iran, we know, is behind this, and we know Russia's behind it. Hezbollah has admitted it. Hamas has admitted getting weapons from them. So, we know that. Bueller, I think we heard enough. There's no Hamas, okay? Bueller? Everybody tells me let the dogs bark. Don't start to quiet them down, but I can't tell the dogs I'm on a live broadcast. You gotta shut up. What's a live broadcast? You know, they don't know what it is. Yeah. They think I'm talking into a box. All right, enough! No! She likes to make the point. I have 2 substantial dogs, and they're pretty tough. They miss their mommy, I don't know. Bueller likes to howl. Bueller is what's called the Baladi dog. She's half Canaanite dog, which goes back to the days of Abraham, the shepherd dog, and she's half Egyptian pharaoh hound, which in Egypt with the pharaohs, only the royal family was allowed to own a pharaoh hound. And the problem I have with Bueller is she never forgot it. Okay. All right, enough. Hey! You know, the other one's not barking, so there's nothing out there. I don't know what she's barking at, you know. She cannot get home right now. Most airlines are not flying in. They're bringing the reserve soldiers back with military shuttle flights. So I don't know. I mean, if flights are available, they cost an arm and a leg, which we don't have. So she may not, the way things are going, she may not get back till December or something. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Nobody complains about her barking because they don't want any, bad guys walking down the street. There's no walking down the street quietly for uh, anybody in this neighborhood. Many people have dogs. Many. They said when someone walks down the street, you can just listen to the barking. Beulah, come here. Enough. You got to shut up. Come here. Come. Come. Now, come. Come. If I have to get up, you're going home. You want to push it? Go home. Come on, Beulah, go home. Go home. She shuts up. She doesn't like it. Go home. Get over here and sit down. Come here. Come here. She's avoiding me. I think she'll shut up. So, we don't know what's going to happen in the next few minutes. We'll find out a lot more. Hezbollah may join in and they may not join in. Hezbollah's been threatening to turn the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier into a submarine. Now, that's the biggest aircraft carrier and the most modern in the whole world, and they're going to turn it into a submarine with what? They got some junky missiles from Iran. I mean, I imagine they got Biden's blood pressure, up when they said that. And they also, what kind of psychopaths are we dealing with? They're going to attack. They don't have a navy to speak of. They're going to attack an American aircraft carrier group. Listen, I don't think China and Russia combined can successfully pull that off. Now, America put A-10 Warthogs in the UAE. And I think that's because they're going to put the George Washington aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf. And if Iran tries to do a go-fast boat attack with 50 or 100 boats, the AWACS fire 3,900 rounds a minute of very powerful 20-millimeter ammunition that just shred the boat. And they may use them if Hezbollah wants to do an incursion into Israel by ground, because those things are excellent in taking out, troops trying to flood in or something like that. But they're quite a distance away in the UAE, so I don't quite understand exactly why they're there, other than probably the George Washington aircraft carrier is going to go to the Persian Gulf. This thing is going to lead to fighting with Iran, in my opinion. Okay? And when the other countries start cutting off their oil production, Biden is going to hit the roof, because they're dictating to Biden. They're telling Biden what he can do and what he can't do. And you know how that's going to end. Okay? There's a guy on Twitter called Navy Warcam News or something like that. And he has webcams by many of the American Navy bases, and he takes pictures 24/7. And for the last 3 days, 4 days, no, I think, yeah, about that long, there's been a large amount of Navy ships departing from San Diego, that's the Pacific, and Norfolk, Virginia, which would be coming over here, or Europe. So the activity of the Navy ships is very high. We had the Secretary of Defense here, I think, or we had Blinken here, and we had another guy highly placed in the cabinet, and then we had the head of the Joint Chiefs in the Pentagon here meeting with Israel. And I don't know. I think these guys may still be here. I don't know. They might be sitting here to watch the war, which means the vast resources in the American military are going to come to bear on Hezbollah, who has no air force, no air defenses, nothing. What do they got? I mean, you see the ridiculousness of this? How could Gaza possibly win against Israel? They have nothing to fight with. The only way they could win is public opinion. So the Hamas guys are all underground in Gaza. They have, I think they call it the Metro. There's a vast network of long connecting tunnels that are underground. Today we dropped a flurry, I have it on my Telegram, the video, of what appeared to be bunker buster bombs to break up some of this. That's barking at a car. Actually, after cars. To break up their tunnels. I'm sure America gave them to us because we didn't have those before. What else? So, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. I have a big following, well, for me, big, on Telegram. Are there any tunnels in Damascus and Syria? Yeah, I'm sure, but I don't think it's anywhere as elaborate as what goes on in Gaza. And they probably have some. I don't know. We don't have a problem with tunnels over there. Lebanon has tunnels, but I'm sure by now we know where they all are. I mean, we've been up there for days, so I'm sure we have tunnel experts with special equipment to find the tunnels, so we know where they are. So if they're going to pop out in tunnels in Israel, they're going to be bye-bye, you know. We have a very large amount of tanks up in Lebanon, and we have a lot of mobile artillery, and we got armored personnel carriers, and we got Apache helicopter gunships, and we got F-35s and F-16s. Israel has about 300 fighter jets. That's pretty substantial for the Middle East. Now, we have 50 F-35s that we modified specially, so they're pretty darn good. So, look, I'm not going to be doing, when this thing starts, when I do Telegram, I'll update it every 5 minutes, okay? It's too difficult to do that on YouTube. And the news breaks in 10, 15 minutes, things get old. So if you want to get the lowdown on what's happening from me living in Israel for many years, you need to go to Telegram. Most people don't want to because they like YouTube and stuff. I'm sorry about that. It's up to you. If you want to go to Telegram, you download this app called Telegram Messenger. Telegram Messenger. It's free. Okay? It's free. And my email address is in the description box on the lowest line down. And it is Israel Giving, one word, with the number 7 at gmail.com. It's Israel Giving with the number 7 at gmail.com. And it's at the lowest line down in the description box. Now, Telegram doesn't censor. And I have a lot of pictures there, a lot of videos. I translate from the Arabic sites from Gaza and Lebanon. And, at times I get it from Iran and Farsi and from Hebrew, and I put it up there. I'm very careful. There's so much false information flying around now from the Arab sites. It's incredible. So I'm very, very careful what I put up from them. But sometimes it's useful information. And that's all I can tell you. I mean, I'll still do intermittent updates, a few times a day at YouTube, but you're not going to get there. If you really want to follow the war coverage, you get there. Now, the other thing I have on Telegram is I have links where you can get notified on Telegram real time. That means you got like a 3-second delay. So when we get a red alert, which is the morning that we have an incoming mortar, an incoming missile or rocket, or an infiltration, and There's maps and everything, and I'll show you how to get that. I post that at least once a day and show you how to get that. It's all free, of course, on Telegram. It's the Israel Red Alert system, and you can, so look, it's a superior way of covering the war. It's not even close. I don't know which browser to use to get Telegram, but it's probably. See, we just heard a bell. I don't know if you heard it. I'll see if we get another one. That means we have an incoming missile or rocket. Okay. And maybe I could show you what it looks. Well, I'm probably just going to wind up. I don't have another iPad, so I'm probably just going to wind up dropping something. And I can't afford to drop any more equipment. My phone's like, I don't know, 3-4 years old and still working. Thank God. This iPad I'm on now is a lot newer than the one that died, but it's way superior to do the war there because I got a lot of sources that are putting information up every few minutes, like every 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And, we're not getting information from newspapers or, TV shows or anything like that. We're getting it from, social media all over the place in the Middle East, and it's excellent information. Let me see if I can turn my voice up. Maybe you'll hear me better now. I don't know. I'm probably talking faint. So, if you really want to follow it blow by blow, come to Telegram. Now, I want to caution you that there's a lot of armchair, war reporters around the world in Europe and America and other places that are reporting on this stuff. The first thing I want you to know is if they're not in Israel, the information is going to be stale. Number two, there's a flood of false information flowing around the internet. There's a lot of it, okay? And I don't know if they know how to tell what's real and what's not, okay? If you're not living in Israel, you're not really going to get, a lot of the good stuff is coming out in Hebrew and Arabic. You still get good stuff, and some in English, but they're not gonna get it, okay? I don't know how they could, and if they did get it, it's going to be old, stale information. So, when I hang up here, I haven't been on that long. When I cut this off, there'll probably be, hold on. It'll probably be, 70 or so messages that I've got to go through, and then I got to start figuring out what it is. Now, I put this message up. This message is up on my Telegram. I normally do a commentary. And I do a lot of commentaries, and I do audio files and stuff like that on this. So if you really want to cover it, you really want to get the scoop, I'm sorry, Telegram's the best there is, okay? And I don't put up grotesque horror pictures of what Hamas did to the Israeli people or what happened to people when bombs hit or anything like that. I don't bother. I mean, that's, horror porn, and, I might verbally tell you what happened, but I'm not going to put the picture, there's no point in that, And, I don't know what else I could tell you right now, but it's going to get tonight. Israel's very on edge. We don't know what's going to happen with Hezbollah. We don't know what's going to happen when we get into Gaza. We can expect that they're going to, we're going to have to hunt down snipers and sappers and ambushes from under cars, in the rubble, on rooftops and windows. And, everything else is going to be a rough one. Okay, we don't know. We don't know what we're going to get into, for sure. IEDs, mines, shoulder-fired Katyushas, anti-tank shoulder-fired missiles that probably won't work on our tanks, but we don't know what kind of grueling fight we're going to have or not have. You know, with the tunnels, they'll probably approach Hamas and go knock knock, come out. You got 5 minutes. They don't come out, they'll detonate. What do you think they're going to do? You know, they're not going to come out. They're going to try to run away through the network of tunnels to another area. So it's going to be a hard one. It's going to take time. It's not going to be over in 6 hours. This is going to take days and maybe weeks. They're telling us weeks. Okay? We've cut their electricity. We're going to kill their internet. We're not letting food come in. We're not letting anything come in. Fuel, food, water, nothing. They have done things to us that the invading Nazi army never did to people when they invaded. Okay? They didn't run around the street shooting everybody they saw. The soldiers were relatively respective of the civilian populations. Yeah, they did pick the Jews up and ship them off to camps and all that. Yeah, we know that. So, please, I encourage you, come to Telegram. Just email me. I'll give you the invite link. There's a reason I don't put it up here, and it's just email me. My email address is israelgiving with the number 7 at gmail.com. Okay, not hard to. All you got to do is write in the subject headed Telegram. You don't have to say, "Oh, I've been watching you and I want to learn this." Just write Telegram, and I'll send you the invite link. You got to download the Telegram Messenger application. I think there's a way you could get to it with some browsers, but you're probably going to have trouble. The feedback I get is you're going to have some trouble with the browsers, okay? Telegram is encrypted, so Google can't spider Telegram and then put it all over the internet. It goes to them encrypted. They can't do anything with it. So it's very secure. Okay, I've been there for years, nobody has had any problems. Okay, nobody. So it's an excellent place. No censorship, free. It's very good. There's nothing bad about it, okay? And that's what I got for now, so I got to go back and cover what's going on with the war. And I hope I'm helping people understand, and I send my Shabbat Shalom to all those who love Yeshua HaMashiach, and I thank everybody for their prayers. I thank you for the offerings, and I'm doing my best. And tonight might be a really long night. Okay, that's it. I'm out. Thank you.